So a lot of talk recently has been around not only short selling, but why do people short sell? In this video, we're going to tell you exactly that and also give you a plan as to how you can short sell safely in the markets while controlling your risk. Here's what we're going to discuss in this video, guys. What is short selling? Obviously, we're going to tell you what is actually happening when someone is short selling, why we want to go short on a stock, and obviously how to control your risk during a short position. Neil's going to kick things off here and get into a little bit on exactly what we're talking about. First off, we have to really understand, what is short selling, Neil?
Short selling is a bet that the price of a stock is going to go down. Now, the mechanics of it in this situation are you're not buying the stock and then selling it later. You're borrowing the stock from your broker, and then you're going in and selling shares into the market with the anticipation that you have to buy them back, and you want to buy them back at a lower price. Now, a couple of key things here. You're either going to do two things, right? People say buy low, sell high. You're either going to try to sell something which is ridiculously weak on bad news, or you're probably going to be trying to look for tops to go short. And I want to give a quick example here on a ridiculously strong stock, Upstart, for a reason. You know, where would you decide, or how do you structure a trade short, wanting to bet that the price goes down with a move like this? You have to have an out, because the stock could go to infinity, right? But it can only go down to zero. Your downside is certainly unlimited in that particular case. So I always go into the higher time frame to show you that pattern and look for a confirmation of selling first. In this particular case, it was overextended to the upside, a double up since that breakout on the daily chart here at about 138, and then doubling up here at about 275 after a second parabolic move up. In this case, I'm simply looking for a first rejection off of the open, which is exactly what happens. It tries to break the high, and the sellers reject the break of that high. I now have an out at the high of the day, and I have a simple structured trade. Yesterday's support, high of the day out. If you don't have that out, you could be holding on forever, and your downside's unlimited, Sean.
Yeah, and that is the problem. I think that if we're going to talk about structuring a short, to me, what you have to really do is, and again, figure out your time frame. That's the very first thing for me, is understand how long you're going to be holding on to something. That's very, very important, because like Neil said, the minute you short something, if good news comes out, it's going to pop against you. So you got to make sure you have your outs. I'm just going to look at Netflix here, up about 20% or so, in the last 2 weeks. You're going to say to yourself, well, hey, if it takes out this high, then I'm going to get out of my short. And I just think that makes a lot of sense. If you're playing inside this range here, as soon as you break some of these highs and into the range, that's when you sort of got to say, you know what? The bulls right now are winning. I may look to reshort it once we maybe take this level out. But if you get out here, even in this move all the way back up, if you take this out at about 592, 593, the previous all-time high on Netflix, then you don't have to worry when it runs up to 620 and change. So I always think that the best thing to do is, when you're into a short, if it's going to blow you out, get out. And then when it retakes this level back to the downside, then that's a good spot to play short. So that's just some advice there. If you're looking for a longer time frame, definitely get out when it breaks these big channels, guys.
Let's continue the conversation on higher time frames. Let's go into a daily chart first, guys, that is going to show a picture of weakness. And in this case, I'm just picking a little teeny tiny small cap here, guys. If we could, there we go, thank you. Daily chart of a little teeny tiny small cap that was popping up. But if this is the daily chart on the left, my point, trending to the downside. So we're looking for a picture of weakness on the daily chart. We're looking for a stock in the morning that is popping up into prior areas of resistance. In this case, this GANX gave you very, very good ones. In the pre-market, we're trading below 1050. You go out to the daily chart, that's 11 up here. So we have our risk defined. Trading below prior resistance in the pre-market gives you very, very controlled risk. And in this case, trade that works out very well to the downside. But go out to those higher time frames, as we said, gives you a picture of strength. It can also give you a picture of weakness. In this case, a stock that is trending to the downside, it might be popping up on news, might be popping up on who knows what, earnings even, but anticipating that move to continue. In the case that Sean was mentioning, to the upside, possibly, but we're still controlling risk at the end of the day, guys. There we go, a little bit on short selling for you. Here's Miss V.
Hey guys, thank you for your tips on short selling. Dear viewers, please subscribe to this channel to see more great videos.